Welcome back to Sunrise Daily.
Did you just say that?
Okay, welcome to Sunrise.
Yes.
This is Sunrise. All right,
Anyway,
so
the sun will always rise.
The sun would always rise by the grace of God, as
Yes.
you say. Yeah. But we want to start out with something looking at the Nigerian economy, a middle income, mixed economy, and emerging market with expanding manufacturing, financial service, communications, technology, and entertainment sectors. Oh, hold on. Let's go back again. Expanding manufacturing, financial, service, communications, technology, and entertainment sectors. So it's a potentially robust economy. It is ranked as the 21st largest economy in the world in terms of nominal GDP and the 20th largest in terms of purchasing power parity. It is the largest economy in Africa. It is re-emergent manufacturing. Its re-emergent manufacturing sector became the largest in the country in 2013 and produces a large proportion of goods and services for the West African sub-region. Now, the debt to GDP ratio is only 11%, which is 8% below the 2012 ratio. Over the last few weeks, the pillars of the old order, free trade, multilateralism, and globalization have come under intense pressure and seemingly giving way to an era of enlightened national interest in the conduct of international economic relations. On the domestic front, the economy remains in recession and inflation pressures have yet to recede. Both external and domestic conditions have blended to significantly complicate the policy environment.
It's a serious situation, but
okay, I've just reeled out a couple of things about the Nigerian economy. Now, some will say, but what do you mean by all of this? Just hold on. We do have in the studio to help us understand some of the things happening, Mr. Gabriel Idahosa, who is an economist. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And in our Abuja studio, we have the Director, Monetary Policy Department of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Mr. Moses Tule.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
All right, so let me begin with the economist to give us an overview of what he thinks is the state of our economy right now. Mr. Idahosa.
Well, you sort of summarized what are the fundamentals of the economy. The Nigerian economy is robust by the fact of our population, by the fact of the complete range, if you like, of natural resources, from having a long coastline to having the vegetation that spreads from the coastal to the savanna to the Sahel. And so we have an economic framework that is sustainable if it is properly managed. And as you have highlighted, it's a fact that we remain one of the largest economies of the world, if you are looking at the top 25 economies. And in terms of, even though we don't regard ourselves as a serious manufacturing economy, we still do a lot of manufacturing. So that essentially tells us that if we have some temporary issues like the fall in oil prices, it is because we have developed the other sectors of the economy that should make us less and less reliant on a single source. So the economy is still strong in terms of what any economy needs to be strong. The human we need, we can produce. We are not producing them now. Trying to produce them. At some point, perhaps in the next 2 years, we'll become self-sufficient in things like rice. And once we become self-sufficient in rice and become self-sufficient in refined petroleum products, this economy will be fundamentally strong. It will become a robust, self-sustaining economy.
I was going to ask, when did we begin to depend so much on rice? I mean, rice wasn't exactly our staple.
Yeah.
So when did we get so hooked? Sorry for the choice of word. Hooked on rice.
Well, it's somewhere around the Shagari administration when we had so much oil money and we thought, why not enjoy ourselves? And we started importing rice, and we call it essential commodities. For some reason, very good question you have asked. Somebody decided rice was essential commodities, and we were importing them in large amounts. At that time, a bag of rice, I don't know, very, very small amounts, 55 naira or something. And so everybody started eating rice. What we used to eat once a week, maybe on a Sunday, became something everybody could afford, and we started eating it every day of the week. So it was not ingrained in our genes to eat rice as a staple in this country. But we decided, because there was money to bring it, and it became a staple.
Okay, you said something about the Nigerian economy being strong. And some people maybe watching now think, okay, is it in terms of the figures? Because the reality on ground is not, people are not feeling that the economy is strong enough to support them in terms of their daily living. So how do you explain that?
No, if you say your daily living, it means the economy is not capable of providing those things under any circumstances. That means the economy is fundamentally unsustainable, and we have to be dependent on outside countries. We have temporary difficulties that we are dealing with, which we need to deal with. One of it is food self-sufficiency. If we take out rice, just say we need to be self-sufficient in food. We have the capacity to do it. We can do it. So it is the human factor and the policy factor that are holding us back from realizing. We always talk about potential, the potential of the economy, the potential of the economy. So the capacity to do these things are there. We are not doing them today, but we have shown that once we decide to do them, whether it is converting the oil into refined products, whether it is even the reform of the banking sector, whether it is the pension, whether it is telecommunications, whatever we decided we wanted to do, we quickly did it.
All right.
But if we're not doing it, then I don't know. Be strong, you know.
If you are talking of the economy that is capable of sustaining itself, because one of the things you mentioned is the transition in the world to an emphasis on nation states. There are some countries that cannot sustain themselves.
If you can just hold your thoughts, we'll take a moment and go on break. We'll come back to continue the conversation. Don't go away.